Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. Parents, of course, should always be told what is happening to their children. Any teacher who hides things from a parent should immediately lose their job. They are not fit and proper people to be teachers. You must never hide anything from the parents of a child. And if you go forward with that thought, then you can't go far wrong. And that is why a bunch of parents have banded together and they are suing the government because of the secrets kept from them by teachers. Let's look at this story. So, parents of trans pupils plan to sue the government after teachers kept their children's gender switches secret. Parents claim the Department for Education failed to issue guidance over damaging gender ideology, and teachers are accused of encouraging pupils to transition after an NHS warning. So this is teachers, the left. It's always the left because the teaching community is absolutely filled with people on the left, and they're pushing their gender ideology onto innocent children because it's the left's drive to change genders, to push for this gender identity. Rubbish, really. We've already seen that figures from the government's own figures are completely suspect, out by a factor of two orders of magnitude out on the number of trans people, which is why teachers are pushing this, because they think there's a lot of trans people here. Teachers that push this, that keep these things secret, need to be prosecuted. They need to lose their jobs. They need to be kept well away from children. Why are they keeping secrets from parents? It's called grooming. That's why. When you are an adult and you're doing things to children and you're telling those children it's our little secret, that is more than a little worrying. A group of parents whose children have changed gender plan to sue the Department of Education for not protecting them from trans ideology in schools. They accuse ministers of failing to issue guidance to teachers and letting a damaging gender ideology pushed by LGBT lobbying groups take root in thousands of schools. Some teachers have not told parents when their children switch gender. Others have been accused of encouraging pupils to transition even after NHS psychologists warned against it. But they don't care about anything about that because they're the left. The left want to access your children. They don't want you raising your children. They want those children mentally conditioned by them because it's all part of a push for the future. They salami slice after slice after slice. They take children, they move children away from the parents' authority and move it into state-controlled children. That's what they do. And they keep pushing the sexual politics onto increasingly younger children. Because, make no bones about it, the left are in a drive to make P normal. Barrister Dr. Anna Lutfi, I'm not sure how you pronounce that name, but I'm going to go with Lutfi, who is bringing this case, told the Mail on Sunday the parents wish to bring a joint claim in negligence against the Department for Education for a failure to act on the foreseeable harms caused to children by gender ideology. Gender ideology, which is the case would seek to define in law, is promoted across primary and secondary schools. They need to butt the fuck out of it because this has got nothing to do with teachers. Anything like this is purely within the bailiwick of parents, not strangers who are talking to your children about sexual matters and then keeping it a secret from parents. Every single teacher that does this must be treated for what they are, groomers of children. Every single teacher that talks about this issue that doesn't tell the parents that they're doing it needs to lose their job. We don't want groomers in schools. It is the belief that sexual differences are not important and can be changed or ignored. And that, of course, is bollocks. Sexual differences are massively important. Important to psychological health, but also important to physical health. You cannot tell someone they're no longer a girl because that won't stop ovarian cancer. You can't stop prostate cancer in boys just because he identifies as a woman. There are physical changes that occur. It is massively damaging, and one only has to look at the increased self-ending rate in people who've transitioned. 10 times higher. These people are forcing children down a one-way street that ultimately ends tragically for many of them. Anyway, the Department for Education has done nothing to prevent this. They have recommended materials from controversial groups such as Stonewall, who are just a criminal organisation, who have been accused of misrepresenting the law when advising schools on gender issues. They are liars, they are criminals, they are an organised criminal unit because they go into places, they demand money with menaces. If you don't give us this money, and we put that plaque on the wall, or we tell people you're a terrible organisation, it will damage you. Well, I'll tell you what, Stonewall, go fuck yourselves. I don't care. I don't give a shit about you. You no longer represent anyone. Your function ended when gay and lesbian people got every right afforded to every other person. That's what Stonewall was set up for. In fact, it's so damaging now that it's actually throwing out its founding members, because it doesn't want to represent gay people anymore. It only wants to represent trans people. The LGB bit can go. They are literally the trans organisation now. The case brought by the Bad Law Project campaign comes after Policy Exchange think tank warned that many secondary schools allow children to present as the opposite gender without informing parents. And that is the problem. And if you do it, you're a groomer. The claimants include a mother whose daughter's private school encouraged the autistic 16-year-old to change gender without her consent, ignoring NHS gender psychologists who warned against social transforming. The parents of a teenage boy claim his school hid his gender transition until teachers told them they would address him by a girl's name. He has since suffered psychologically, they say. Of course they do. It's massive. It's traumatic. And the parents need to be informed. And these schools refuse to do it because they're full of lefties who don't want parents involved in the raising of their own children, in case the parents do stupid things like tell the teachers to go fuck themselves. The mother of a 16-year-old boy said his college ignored the advice of NHS psychotherapists who said he should not be allowed to transition to female. And when she raised concerns, a tutor said the college did not need to work with her because at 16 he was an adult. Actually, no, he's not. 18 is the age of majority in this country. So they are liars and they need to get their asses sued massively. And I want to see not just the Department for Education. That's a good start. I want to see each and every single teacher in the dock charged, losing their job, losing their pension, going to jail. I want to see every single one of them. And then send the message out that you don't do this to children, you grooming bastards. Education Secretary Gillian Keegan and Equalities Minister Kemi Badenoch are drawing up guidelines that are expected to tell schools that they must inform parents if pupils want to change gender. Well, the left will hate that. The teaching unions will probably go out on strike because of that. We mustn't tell parents about children. No. We want to groom them. We want to push them down one-way streets. We want to tell them whoever's touching them, it doesn't matter if they're male or female or how old they are. These are things that the teachers' unions have said. The teachers' unions are filled with peas. The Department for Education said this guidance will clarify schools' legal position and the importance of involving parents. Let me tell you that any teacher that wants this, why? Question them. Why do they want to keep things like this secret from parents? It must only be one thing. These teachers that hide this are peas. There is no other excuse. Why else would you keep anything secret when involving sex and children? Because you're a pea, and that's it. And just look at and you must, as a parent, if your parents, your kids are in school, look, every single teacher in that school, you must look at them as potentially peas preying on children. Every single one of them must be inspected, must be found, and if any of them have said or done anything like this, they've got to go and they've got to be prosecuted. Anyway, it gets me so angry, I'm going to come up. When people start seeing what teachers are doing and what they truly are, it will cause a revolution in education. Why should anyone, any parent, have to worry about their children when they're at school, worrying about what teachers are saying to them, what teachers are doing to them? People have ended their own lives because they've been forced down a track that wasn't for them. They've been pushed down this trans route and only later found out that they're not. By then it's too late. They've been sterilised. They've been psychologically damaged beyond repair. And they quite often end themselves. That is what teachers are pushing. That is what these groups like Stonewall are pushing. They have their agenda. They need to keep pushing and pushing and pushing it. And they're using children as cannon fodder, really, in their war of ideologies. We need to resist. We need to tell the groups like Stonewall that they are worthless pieces of trash. We can ignore them. We give them not a single jot of money, certainly not public money. And we reject any teacher who wants to keep secrets from parents. If you can afford it, educate your kids at home. Don't let them fall into the hands of the left. Thank you very much for watching. If you like what you're seeing here on the channel, please do hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, leave a like, leave a comment, please share the video. Definitely leave a like. And until next time, stay safe, stay well. For God's sake, guard your kids, they're precious. And goodbye.